Okay, I'm Paul Sherland, and I'm with Darrell Mather from BUGCO. And the first question up today, Darrell, is how to kill mosquitoes.
All right. So the question is how do you kill mosquitoes in the greater Houston metro area? So there's going to be a variety of ways. So we'll start kind of on a smaller scale locally. When you're talking about commercial or residential accounts, so a homeowner is going to want to look for the kind of the minutia, the small areas around the home, standing water, places that aren't well ventilated. If you have a pier and beam home, if you're going to have a variety of issues just under a pier and beam home, such as standing water and being poorly ventilated. So we want to make sure that mosquitoes don't have breeding areas. That's going to be really key. But as far as killing them, let's go ahead and just make sure that they can't breed in the first place. While you can make your residence or your commercial property mosquito proof, you're not going to be able to keep them away. They're flying insects. So if you have bug spray that you keep in the back porch just locally, you can always just kill on contact. But as far as what a pest control company can do for the consumer, we have everything from the InteCare mosquito traps, which helps to not only lure them to the trap, but it also allows them to carry a secondary kill chemical, or it has an effect where it takes to secondary and tertiary or breeding sites, and it allows them to kill other mosquitoes at the source. So not only that, but we offer mosquito misting systems. So with mosquito misting systems, what we do is we're going to strategically place a 55-gallon drum. There's going to be line and hosing going throughout the property, and these nozzles will spray at strategic times, typically when mosquitoes are most active, and beneficial insects such as butterflies, bees, and other insects are not active.
And you were talking about the InteCare system and the secondary effects and stuff like that. Basically, it kills the mosquitoes in your neighbor's yard too. So if your neighbor isn't as meticulous as you are in keeping your yard maintained, that InteCare system is going to be able to follow the mosquitoes back to their breeding sites in the neighbor's yard and kill the mosquitoes back there. Is that right?
Yeah, so that's right. Not only does it lure the mosquitoes to the InteCare trap, but they're going to go look for other breeding sites. They're not just going to hang out at that one isolated site. So they're going to come, they're going to lay their eggs. Not only does it kill the eggs that and the larvae that have hatched in that stagnant water, but when they go to look for other breeding sites, they're going to carry a secondary chemical with them. So they're going to go to the neighbor's house, and they're going to just expose all of those other mosquitoes and those other breeding sites to this chemical, which allows those mosquitoes that have bred in those secondary sites to go to the tertiary or the third site, and so on. So it has a kind of a domino effect, allowing mosquito populations in very large areas to basically, we're turning those breeding sites into kill sites.
Do you normally install the mosquito misting systems, or they work in conjunction with the InteCare systems? Maybe
not only does it work in conjunction with, but it has kind of an exponential or a compounding effect. So not only is it killing the ones that, because we're not spraying chemical utilizing the misting system 24 hours a day.
Right.
They're flying insects. They are going to get past it. That's just the fact of the matter. So yes, it certainly works in conjunction with and compounds the effect. So when the misting system's not spraying and killing or reducing the population, controlling it, then we'll have the InteCare system to act as a backup. So it acts as a supplement to an already great system, and allows us to help control when the misting system's not acting.
Okay. And with the InteCare and the misting system, I know some maintenance is required. You need to, if you have the chemical that's used with the misting system, and I'm sure the InteCare system needs to be maintained in some way. Is that a quarterly maintenance schedule that y'all have, or is that a monthly schedule? How does that work?
With the InteCare systems, that's on a 30-day schedule, because the primary component or the chemical that allows us to control that mosquito population, that's going to go ahead and start, the effectiveness is going to start waning after about 30 days. So we want to do monthly maintenance on that. And depending on the size of the misting system, it could be as frequently as monthly, every other month, or more often than not, it's going to be quarterly, once every 3 months. And with that, not only are we doing the general pest control, the yard treatment, which aids in reducing the mosquito population in the yard, but we also maintain the misting system, change out any nozzles that are perhaps clogged or just not working as effectively. We run the line, we clean it out, add new chemical, top it off, and we get to readjust the settings for more frequency during the summer months, which allows us to, say we go from a standard 3 sprays per night to maybe 4. Not only that, but the consumer is going to have a remote control. So if they know they're going to have a guest over, they can hit their remote control, you get a 20 to 30 second spray in, and that's going to help kill off the mosquito population that's out there currently. And so it dries in about 35 to 40 seconds. So just give it a minute to dry, and then you could go out there safely and effectively have a mosquito-free or reduce the mosquito population before going out.
Okay, yeah, that's great. And I know that you have, you also have backpack, I can't say it, backpack spraying for, I guess that's kind of an immediate hit kind of thing, isn't it? For an event or something like that?
Well, that's really effective for multiple things. We have clients, so say for instance, a car dealership, and their staff goes out in the morning and to wash the cars or maintain the vehicles, and they're just getting eaten up by mosquitoes or even gnats. And these systems, now not the Inticare, however, but they're effective against more than just mosquitoes, but let's just go ahead and focus on the mosquitoes. With those backpack foggings, we could cover a very large area. You're not talking about something as small as a yard, because mosquito misting systems are highly effective at residences, and we're trying to focus on the outside living areas.
Mm-hmm.
When you start talking about backpack fogging, we could cover really great areas. You're talking about acres at that time.
Okay.
And that does help also, besides the mosquito population, the gnats, spiders, and other pests. But for the purposes of the mosquito, yeah, if you're having an event, you're having a wedding, a party, pool party, you're just having your standard Friday night get together, and you want to reduce the mosquito population, it wears off relatively fast. So that's why we say for an event, you're talking a 24 to 48 hour efficacy rate. So yeah, definitely if you're having an event, go ahead, have somebody come and do the backpack fogging as opposed to backpack spraying. There is a difference. We come out and we do that fogging, and that's going to knock down the population for the immediate future.
Okay. Well, I wasn't aware that there is a difference between backpack spraying and backpack fogging. Could you briefly explain what the difference is?
Sure. The fogging is going to cover that greatly reduced area. It takes that particle or that liquid and turns it into an ultrafine mist. That's the fog. Emphasis on fog. It's very fine. It hangs in the air. It lingers for a little bit, and you can cover when you're spraying. Say you're having that spider issue up on the second story eave. That's when you're going to get those areas that are not normally accessible or easily reachable with something as a handheld sprayer. And then when you're talking about backpack sprayers, that just holds a larger content for chemical, okay, and it covers a greater area for liquid application.
Okay.
So that's for your common crawling insects, and then the fogging is for your mosquitoes and other flying insects.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't realize that. Thanks, Darrell. Is there anything else that you want to add to the how to kill mosquitoes?
Well, safe to say that mosquitoes, being a flying insect, you're never going to be able to create a dome around your house that's going to bar them from coming in. They're uninvited guests. They're going to fly over fences from the neighbor's yard. They're going to fly in from the bayous, the creeks, the stagnant water. That's the fact of the matter, especially in the Houston metro area. Everything from, Conroe over to Magnolia, all these areas. It's forested, there's stagnant water, there's standing water. That's just a fact of living in the great city of Houston and surrounding areas. So at some time or another, a backpack fogging, the Inticare system, or mosquito misting systems are going to be warranted if you want to combat these mosquitoes. Other than that, just do your part to remove that water, get their shelter and their little hidey holes away. I mean, unfortunately, if you have a deck on your backyard that's just an elevated wood deck, they're going to be breeding under there. So from time to time, especially if it's not well ventilated, it's sealed on all sides, they're going to be down there. And okay, that's something that you're going to be facing. So just make sure to, use your repellents, go ahead and get rid of their breeding sites, and do everything that you can, even if you don't want to call BUGCO immediately. The fact of the matter is they do carry disease, they do have vectors for disease and breeding sites, and no one wants that, so just be safe. That's going to be really key. And should anyone have any questions, I would always, implore them to call BUGCO, ask their questions, get their quotes. But I mean, it really comes down to just start on the small scale, do your part, and then if you need BUGCO's assistance, we can always help.
Okay. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you very much, Darrell.
No problem, Paul.
BUGCO, we make the bugs go.